The sixth round of the United Nations Syrian Constitutional Committee talks ended last week and were described by the UN envoy as a big disappointment. Assad's violent repression of the 2011 Arab Spring protests demanding regime change quickly spiraled into a complex conflict that pulled in numerous actors, especially foreign powers. The Wilson Center's James Jeffrey sets an accurate scene of the situation on the ground.
There are 4 military operations, actual or potential, by powerful regional states inside Syria, apart from Assad's allies, the Russians and the Iranians. There is the Turks all over the north, dug in Idlib and elsewhere. There is the Israeli air campaign against Iranian missile and other strategic systems. There's the United States, supported by Britain and France, position on striking if chemical weapons are used. And there is a major United States presence in the east of the country to fight ISIS.
Mohammed Al-Abdallah, Executive Director of the Syria Justice and Accountability Center, explains the impact on the civilian population.
To put things more in context, is how civilians were treated in those settings. The Syrian government is controlling X town, and this town is still with the Syrian government control. The rebels take over the town, and they collectively punish the locals because, like, hey, you're welcoming the Syrian government troops, and now either destroy their properties, sometimes loot the properties, shoot some people, arrest some people, with, of course, vague accusations like, oh, you're former informants for the government, or you worked with the military, or you were supportive of Assad regime. The same town later gets back liberated or taken over by the Syrian military to be punished by the Syrian government because, like, hey, you were welcoming those terrorists and you welcomed them in. So, like, the same thing, displacement, sometimes the key thing, looting and destroying their properties. But then later a group like ISIS show up and take over the city and punishes the locals because they were working with the non-Muslims and with all those non-Muslims or not non-Sunni Muslims, let's say. And then the Syrian government comes back to take the town and so forth, so on. So the civilians really suffered a lot on the hands of everybody. And every scenario where the de facto power showed up in a town or a city, the locals paid the price no matter what they did before.
With no proper understanding on how to move forward and no date agreed on for the next round of SCC talks, the prospects for Syrians still trapped in the country remain bleak at best. Yaqut Tobias for CI Radio News.